Bonjour. Okay, I'd like to talk a little bit about direct object pronouns in French, which we're going to start off with looking at le, la, and les. And we know from before that le, la, and les all mean the, either in masculine form, feminine form, or plural, so describing more than one thing. Now, direct object pronouns will always get you more marks, and they're even really useful at GCSEs. So starting to learn them as early as possible and getting used to them is a really good habit to get into. So I just wanted to point them out because we've already seen them before. We've seen them in the context of talking about best friends, and we've said about the fact that yes, they can mean the, but they can also mean him, her, them, or even it. So here are some examples that we've seen already. So we've seen je le connais, meaning I have known him. Je la connais, I have known her, and je les connais, I have known them. So we have seen them before, and it's about getting used to using them again. Now, what's important to note is with those three sentences that you can see there, those three examples, that the direct object pronoun, which is the word le, la, or les in this case, always is positioned before the verb. So it comes after the je and it comes before the verb. That's the important thing to remember as we look at a few examples. So if we take, for example, the word trouver, so trouver means to find. So if we said je trouve Kirikou intelligent, we'd be saying I find Kirikou intelligent. However, if we wanted to make it a bit more technical and use a direct object pronoun to show off and get extra points, we'd have to put the le, la, or les in there. Now, if we think about Kirikou, Kirikou is a boy, so because of that, it's going to be masculine, so it's going to be the le form at the top. And if you think back to the last slide when we said where we would put the direct object pronoun, it always goes before the verb. So it's going to change to je le trouve intelligent. I find him intelligent. And we don't need the word Kirikou anymore because we are replacing it with the direct object pronoun. If we try another one, if we were talking about Caraba, so we would say je trouve Caraba intelligente. We've got the agreement of intelligent there. We've remembered to make that feminine. And if we want to say I find her intelligent, then once again, we think to ourselves, okay, Caraba, she's a woman, so she's feminine, so we need to change it to la instead of le. And let's have a look at a final example. So if we wanted to say je trouve les villageois intelligents, and we wanted to say I find the villagers intelligent, but we wanted to jazz it up and say I find them intelligent, then we would do exactly the same. We pick the les form because it's plural, there's more than one villager, and then we would put it in front of the verb, so je les trouve intelligents. And we've got an S on the end of intelligent there because we are talking about the villagers, which is plural. We can do this with lots of verbs. So if we look at detester, which is to hate, it's not a very cheerful verb, but it's a good one to practice this with. So if we wanted to say je déteste Kirikou, I hate Kirikou, if we want to say I hate him, think to yourself, which one of those would we put in, le, la, or les? And it would be je le déteste because we are talking about him. Then for Caraba, if we want to say we hate his hair, she is a woman, so it's going to be feminine. Je la déteste, once again, it goes before the verb, and we don't need her name anymore because we're saying I hate her. Equally the same for the last one, exactly the same pattern. If we want to say I hate them, we put the les in front of the verb and it's les because it's plural. Right, let's look at another one. This one's a little bit trickier though. Aimer. Now I know that we all know this because we learned it as a set phrase, j'aime, je n'aime pas, etc., etc. However, if we want to try it with the direct object pronoun, it's a little bit different because aimer starts with a vowel, which is why instead of saying je aime, we say j'aime. So if we wanted to say j'aime Kirikou, that's fine. However, if we wanted to say I like him, we need to think, okay, so we're going for him. So le, la, les, it's going to be le. Then the order of it, it needs to go before the verb. So if you look, j'aime Kirikou, what part is the verb there? Okay, so je and m, we already know that automatically we put those together to form a liaison, so you can say it better, so j'aime. However, because we need to put the direct object pronoun in front of the verb, we need to separate the je and the m. So once those two are apart, then we can put the direct object pronoun in the middle, which is what we've done there. So we've got je le aime, but now we've got the E and the A next to each other, so we can form another liaison, so we can change it to je l'aime. So it's je l'aime, but you can see it deconstructed there next to it. Now, the same with Kaba, if we're talking about her. So if we're saying her, we know that that's la. It needs to go before the verb, so we're going to have to take apart the je and m. The la is going to have to go into the middle there, but then once again, we can form another liaison and make je l'aime. So even though it looks exactly the same as the one above, in actual fact, it's that's just where we've formed those liaisons, which are hard, and that's why you get extra points for using these. One of the reasons. Finally, if we want to say I like them, we know that them is the les, which is going to need to go before the verb again. However, it doesn't end in a vowel, so there's not going to be a liaison there. So instead, it's je les aime, three separate words. But on this occasion, we do pronounce the S on les because it's followed by a vowel. So je les aime. Whereas on the last slide, when we were saying I hate them, it would be je les déteste. Right, so I want to give these a go. So I'd like you to press play, pause, sorry for me, and then press play when you're done and have a go at these. Okay, press play, pause. Okay, let's have a look then. So the first one, I find him fast. Je le trouve rapide. I love them. Je les adore, because we're talking about them. I hate her. We've already seen this one. Je la déteste. Number 4, I like them. Je les aime. Remember, we pronounce that S on that occasion. I find her sporty. Je la trouve, and then sportive, because remember, we're talking about her. And number 6 was really quite tricky, so well done if you got this one. Now, je ne la trouve pas jolie. And extra points for that one because you're doing a negative and you're doing a direct object pronoun. And what's important to remember is that the direct object pronoun always goes in front of the verb. So because of that, you need to stretch out the ne and pas a little bit more so that you can find another gap to put the la in there. Now, if we look at it in context, you've got a paragraph here and I'd like you to read it along with me or follow along. J'ai regardé Kirikou. C'est un film et je le trouve super. Il y a Kirikou et je l'aime car je pense qu'il est intelligent. Aussi, il y a Caraba la sorcière. Je la trouve très méchante au début du film, mais à la fin, je l'adore. Ce film, je le recommande. Now, there are quite a few direct object pronouns in there, so what I would like you to do is press pause and try and translate that into English for me. Off you go. Okay, right, let's have a look then. So I'm just going to move my own head so that you can see. And we've got, I watched Kirikou. Well done if you noticed that that was in the past tense there. It's a film and I find it super. There's your first direct object pronoun. There's Kirikou and I like him, second direct object pronoun, because I think that he's intelligent. Also, there is Caraba the sorceress. I find her, third direct object pronoun, very mean at the start of the film, but at the end, I love her. This film, I recommend it, and there is your last direct object pronoun, and it's a le for je le recommande. That is masculine form because a film in French, un film, is masculine as well. All right, so well done. And if you can include these in your own work, then extra points to you. And it's best to start trying to use them as much as possible so you can get used to it and get more points when you finally get to your GCSEs at the end. Well done, guys. Keep going.